what dementia really is and how it affects behavior. Most people think dementia is just memory loss. They think forgetting names, forgetting where things are, forgetting directions, but real dementia is much deeper than the dementia slowly changes memory, emotions, personality, behavior, decision making, and even the way a person sees the world. Sometimes a kind parent becomes angry. Sometimes a calm person becomes suspicious. Sometimes an elderly person because sometimes an elderly person asks the same question 20 times a day. Sometimes they accuse family members of stealing. Sometimes they forget their own children. And one of the saddest part is these many families think they're being difficult, they're stubborn, they're doing this on purpose. But the truth is their brain is slowly changing. Dementia is not just forgetting, it is damage happening inside the brain over time. The brain cells slowly stop working properly, and because different parts of the brain control different things, dementia can affect memory, emotions, language, personality, sleep, behavior, and judgment. This is why dementia patients sometimes act very differently from before. For example, a mother who used to cook perfectly may suddenly forget ingredients, add salt 3 times, leave the stove on. A father who drove safely for 40 years may suddenly get lost near home. Some elderly people ask what day is today. Did I eat yet? Where are we going? Again and again, not because they want to annoy people, but because short term memory is becoming damaged. And here is something very important. Many dementia patients do not realize they have dementia. To them, their brain still feels normal. So when family members say, I already told you, how can you forget again? What's wrong with you? The patient often becomes stressed, confused, embarrassed, angry, or afraid. My opinion is this: agreeing with dementia parents usually makes things worse because logic is no longer the main problem. The brain itself is struggling. One very common example is this: an elderly person hides money somewhere, then forgets where they put it. Later, they accuse family members. You stole my money. You took my gold. This happens in many homes. If the family does not understand dementia, huge fights can happen. Another common behavior is wandering. Some dementia patients suddenly walk around at night, try to leave the house, say they want to go home even when they are already home. This confuses many families, but often The patient's brain can no longer process time, place, and surroundings correctly. Another behavior is mood changes. A person who was once calm may become aggressive, impatient, suspicious, emotionally cold. Why? Because dementia can damage the parts of the brain responsible for emotional control. And there is another important thing many people do not know. Dementia patients often become worse during evening nighttime. This is sometimes called sundowning. During this time, they may panic more, become confused, talk strangely, walk around constantly, or sleep very poorly. Families often become exhausted during this stage. So, what should caregivers actually do? My first advice is this: do not try to win arguments. Sometimes peace is more important than correcting every mistake. For example, if an elderly patient says, I want to go home, instead of saying, this is your home, don't you remember? Try saying, okay, let's sit and let's first. This reduces stress immediately. My second advice: use short and simple sentences. Do not speak too fast. Do not explain too much at once. Instead of after lunch, we are going upstairs to shower and then change clothes before the doctor comes. Try let's eat first, then later time for shower. Simple communication helps the brain process information more easily. Third advice: do not shame dementia patients. Never say you forgot again. You already asked that. You never remember anything. These words create emotional pain. Many dementia patients already feel scared inside, even if they cannot explain it. Fourth advice: create routines. The dementia brain feels safer with repetition, same meal times, sleeping times, caregiver room, daily structure. Too many changes create confusion. Fifth advice: make the environment safer. Simple, practical examples: remove slippery rugs, improve lighting, lock dangerous areas, keep walkers clear, place labels on doors, reduce surround noise. Small environmental changes can prevent major accidents. I also believe caregivers must protect their own mental health. Many caregivers become emotionally exhausted, depressed, angry, or burned out because dementia care is emotionally heavy. Sometimes the patient insults you, forgets who you are, becomes aggressive, repeats the same thing all day. This is very difficult emotionally, so caregivers also need rest, support, breaks, and and understanding. You are not weak for feeling tired. That is normal. Another important lesson from me is this: do not only focus on memory, focus on emotion. Sometimes dementia patients forget names, but they still remember feelings. They remember who made them feel safe, who scared them, who treated them kindly, and who spoke gently. This is why tone of voice matters so much. Sometimes speaking calmly helps more than speaking perfectly. And finally, my biggest advice is this: do not wait too long before getting help. If an elderly person suddenly shows serious memory problems, confusion, personality changes, wandering, repeated questions, suspicious behavior, or unsafe actions. Take it seriously. Early support can help families prepare better because dementia does not only affect the patient, it changes the entire family. And sometimes the best care is not making the patient perfect. The best care is helping them feel safe, calm, respected, and not abandoned. Thank you very much.